Hallo zusammen. Today's video is a bit different, but I think it's different in a good way. Today and within the next few weeks, you will see similar videos by other creators on YouTube, TikTok and other platforms, hopefully at least, because, well, this is a worldwide project that I'm taking part in as a YouTube creator, as a YouTuber. It's not just about like us creators and, promoting ourselves, not at all. It's pretty much about everyone of us. Humankind, die Menschheit. So as a tiny little gear in this massive machine, I want to talk about how to get rid of plastic pollution on beaches, in rivers, or in the ocean. When I first heard about this at first kinda top secret project among creators on YouTube, I was really intrigued, and then I saw that Mr. Beast is involved, a YouTuber that I really like for his philanthropy. And I read through all of that and what it's all about. I was immediately in, no question. And since this channel is all about the German language and life in Germany, meaning the German culture and what Germany is like, I thought, you know what, I could contribute in this by actually talking a bit about the situation in Germany regarding plastic pollution of the environment. And of course, you can also learn some German words along the way. And of course, I want that's you. I want you to partake in this as well. Find out how to do that at the end of this video. I think it's always hard to grasp really high digits and numbers, but sometimes I think it's still important to address them because by doing that you show the relevance and importance of them. So for instance, in 2019, around 368 million tons of der Kunststoff, plastic, got produced worldwide. Around 18 million tons of that was produced in Germany alone. Some of that gets exported, but we also import some each year. In 2018, Europe as a whole suffered from 29 million tons of plastic waste. And yes, that also has to do with factories and the industry, but much of that also has to do with normal people not disposing of plastic garbage the way it should get disposed of. Also, a huge part of das Plastik, plastic, which is another term for it, der Kunststoff or das Plastik, is the packaging of goods and items people buy in supermarkets, for instance, and the like. To be fair, the situation definitely has improved in recent years and even months in Germany and the EU. For instance, from July 3rd, 2021 onwards, so-called Einwegplastik, single-use plastic such as der Trinkhalm, the drinking straw, to-go cups, single-use dishes, etc., all of that is forbidden. In my opinion, that was long overdue, but at least that's something. Because when you think about the fact that around 85% of the ocean pollution is plastic in various shapes and forms, that is a good step forward. But that doesn't mean it's the only solution. For instance, in the case of single-use bottles, it's way better to use so-called Mehrwegflaschen, reusable bottles. I guess sometimes it's abstract to talk about those topics, the worldwide plastic problem and whatnot. When I go out for a walk in my region, which is the Sauerland in West Germany, it's a beautiful region with lots of nature, many woods, many forests that is, and the river Ruhr, which is really important for the whole Ruhrgebiet, which is pretty much one of the biggest German industrial regions. When I go out for a walk there, I pretty much always see overloaded trash bins. But even if they have some space left, even if they are quite empty, people throw away their stuff, on the wayside, sometimes even into the river. And I gotta be honest with you guys, I don't care if it's teenagers partying or if it's like older people that are lazy and don't wanna, get rid of their things in an ordinary way. I don't care. What kind of difference does it make? Young people and old people should both be able to learn. It shouldn't be bound to age and experience. That is what I'm talking about. One of the main problems with plastic is that it really takes a freaking long time to decompose. I mean, just let's be honest with each other. Do you know how long a plastic bag takes to fully decompose when it's floating in the ocean? I didn't. I knew it would take a while, but it's up to 10 or even 20 years in some cases. Das ist echt krass. But it's just a fraction of the about 450-year period which a PET bottle takes to fully decompose in that context. 450 years to really get rid of that stuff completely. And all of that also leads to the dangerous microplastics, which finds its way into sea animals, into their bodies, their lungs and whatnot. And that stuff simply destroys life and environments in various shades of gray. When we take a specific and closer look at the water situation in Germany, reasons for the pollution of natural German water sources are manifold. 2/3 of the German drinking water, which is das Trinkwasser, originates from das Grundwasser, the groundwater or subterranean water. So it's really important that it maintains a certain quality level and stays free from any kind of heavy Verschmutzung, die Verschmutzung, the pollution, for instance through Chemikalien, die Chemikalie, the chemical, and the like. Makes sense, right? In Germany, one of the most common substances that endangers said situation is das Nitrat, nitrate, in combination with traces of used drugs, meaning medicine. Most of that gets into the Grundwasser because of the large amount of die Landwirtschaft, farming and agriculture, and die Tierhaltung, the livestock breeding or the keeping of animals on an industrial agricultural level. In addition to that, even though they are pretty developed quality-wise in Germany, I have to say, a German Kläranlage, die Kläranlage, the purification plant, can also reach their capacity limits, for instance when there's heavy rain pouring down, which also can result in not being able to purify and clean the polluted water, which in turn flows back into the earth and becomes part of das Grundwasser. According to the German Umweltbundesamt, the federal environmental agency, out of 723 Grundwasser measurements that were taken at various German locations, only 29% measured water without nitrate in it. That's not even a third. I guess some of you watching this right now might think, okay, yeah, that's nothing new, we all know that already. That is cool. That huge problem itself is part of our worldwide common sense, if that makes sense, as humankind. But at the same time, it seems to be in a rather subconscious part of our brains at times, and we try to not think about it too much. So it's them. It's not me, it's them who have to start doing something. But that's the completely wrong way of thinking. It depends on each and every single one of us. We all can do something, even in a tiny little environment such as a flat, for instance, or a house, a household. With this worldwide project featuring many different creators on many different platforms, we want to raise $30 million until the end of this year. This global project is a cooperation with Team Seas, a non-profit cleanup organization that focuses on cleaning beaches, rivers, and oceans from plastic pollution, garbage, and the like. All of those three mentioned environments are directly linked to each other, so it's important to systematically take care of all three of them. One single tiny little dollar of support results in roughly 1 pound of trash less out there. Yeah, it's just like that. I'm gonna say it again. A tip of just $1 can make a practical, active, existing difference already. And when as many people partake in this as possible, we all can help not only animals, plants, and nature in general. Just think about it, we also help ourselves by not destroying our only living space at this very moment. I mean, don't get me wrong here. Space exploration is cool and all, and it's also important, of course, but I think it's equally important to really take care of our planet right here in this microcosm that we're living in. There is no second one. It's not available right now. It might be in 100 years or so, I don't know, but right now, no. But what does Team Seas exactly do with that money? And does everything of that go to those projects? The answer to the second question is 100% of that money goes straight into these projects. Every single cent. 1/2 of the raised amount goes to the Ocean Conservancy, a non-profit organization that focuses on cleaning beaches and seas with volunteers on land and, for instance, also on boats. The other half of the raised amount will go to the Ocean Cleanup, which is another non-profit organization that uses huge boats and ships to clean rivers. And don't worry guys, it's extremely easy and just takes a few seconds to partake in this actually. It's just one click on the link in the video description to get to the Team Seas website, or just type in teamseas.org in your browser for taking part in this. Once again, it's just $1 that already makes a difference. So if you can, please consider taking part in this as well. In the name of the whole project, and also from me personally, thanks very much for considering that. And of course, to my fellow creators and colleagues out there, feel free to make a video about this project as well. The more of us, the bigger the potential difference we can make. Of course, you can find links to all my sources in the video description, and once again, a link to teamseas.org in the video description as well. If you've watched the whole entire video to the end, first of all, you're breathtaking, and second of all, feel free to write a comment that says #TeamSeasDave. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm your Vlog Dave. Tschüss und bis zum nächsten Mal.